Hey, what's good, creatives? Welcome to my channel and welcome to my weekly design training where I review designs I receive from my group members. Among the designs I'm going to review today, I have a redesigned version of the design and I'm going to share my process with you. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy this tutorial. So, without any further ado, let's start. This design is not successful to me, and the reason is because the design lacks contrast. And as designers, we are visual communicators. How we do this correctly is when we put our audience in mind whenever we are working on design projects. The same way you know when a design is not successful. You know, somehow how this normally happens to us. I'm sure every one of you can spot a good design from a bad design. And what really affects the contrast is the background. Your background's job is to project what you have on the foreground. If the background is taking the position of the foreground, it's going to affect the success of the design. So if your background is doing the job of the foreground, you're twisting the message. You're not making the message clear. Please always make your background serve as the background. And how you can do this right is when you notice that the background is dark, how you can give room for contrast is to look for something opposite the value of the background. If the background is dark, it means what you have on the foreground should be white. Now, I'm not saying white color now. Okay, let me use the word bright. All right. If your background is dark, what you're placing on the foreground should be bright. And that's how you can achieve contrast. And if your background is bright, what you are placing on the foreground should be dark. But when you place dark on dark, man, you're changing the message. And another thing that really affects the success of this design is the use of blurred image. The use of blurred image is part of what we use to tell story in design. Blurred image are mostly used for designs that say something about when something is not okay, like when you're saying lost of sight, or you're trying to say blurred vision, or you're trying to say distance. All right, you're trying to say something is far. All right, those are when you're supposed to make an image blurred in your project. If nothing in your project is calling for why you should make your image blurry, avoid it. All right, it's not, it's not really okay. And then the other thing that really affected the success of this design is playing with the level of hierarchy in the project. Yes, there's the part of when you have made the title bold like this. Don't think quickly after making the title bold, then the next thing you now do is, okay, forget about the other element in the project where, making it easy for your viewers to access those information. No, there's also the part of making the page dynamic with the other information you have in the project. But when you make everything similar size, nothing stands out and it's going to affect the success of the design. So bad use of background, and also the lack of using hierarchy the right way in the project. All right, yeah, so that's what affected the success of this project here. All right, so I'll go straight to my third design here. All right, so this design, my team later discovered that this was a competition. It's a design for a competition. And when I went to do my research on the competition, because I'm a fan of trying to understand the why. So I went to do my research on what every designer was supposed to do to win the prize for this competition. I found out that even the host did not help the designers. What he or she did was just ask them to do a design without giving them brief. And trust me, as a designer, when you are given a project to work on without brief, you are going to end up doing what doesn't make sense. The brief is the design. All right? The brief is what shaped the design. And that's why when you work on any design project without understanding the why, knowing why the project exists, you're going to end up doing what doesn't make sense. Yeah, you're going to do what doesn't make sense. Yeah, there are times when you don't really need the brief for some type of design. Like, for example, you're doing a food poster All right, you're doing a food poster, you should know that a food poster must look friendly, it must look sweet, it must look interesting. It must not look dull. Okay, but when it comes to doing album art, there's the brief part. There's the part of making you know what type of music you should focus on, the message that the artist is trying to pass to the fans, the people who are going to listen to the music. So the brief is very important. So if you are applying for or you are going for any competition and you are not given the brief as a designer on what to do, please do not apply for that type of competition. So let's go straight to our last design. Yeah, I like the fact that we can see the food here and we can see all the information in this project. And then I like the level of hierarchy in this project because, yeah, we can see this. All right, this is the first this is the first thing we're going to see in the project. I know that this is the second thing that will draw our attention. Then this, the third, and this, the last. But see, guys, why this is not really successful to me is because this is not really giving that food, fun, interesting, sweet look. All right, yeah, it's not really giving that look. You know, I mentioned previously that when you're working on food flyer or food poster, there should be this fun touch on it. If you go check most of all these top brands that are into fast food business, you'll find out that when they are doing their flyer or poster, they always make it have this fun, playful touch. And the reason why they are doing that is not because they just want to play with the elements. No, it's because they are trying to make you know that, see, your coming here is to come and have fun and add to your joy. Because in graphic design, the way we play with the elements is part of how we create the impression of how we want people to think about the brand, how we want people to see the brand. So how you play with the element matters a lot. All right, it matters a lot. So I'm going to show you guys the redesigned version of this, and you guys are going to use that to understand my point here. So this is the redesigned version of the project, and like I explained to you guys, there's the part of creating fun, creating that joy whenever you're working on food projects. All right, there's a part of making people know that, see, when you come to the house, when you come to our restaurant, you're coming there is to come and experience something sweet. All right, it's to come and experience joy. So the way you play with your character, the way you play with your text, the way you play with the image is very important. And another thing I love so much that this designer did is the part of making the food bold, which is very important. I know so many designers don't really get this part. When you're working on food poster, it's always important you make the image, all right, the food bold, because you're making of the food big in the project is what make the mouth watery and make people want to look for this, look for the brand and go patronize them. All right, this is where I'm going to stop. And all right, I'm sure you learned from this tutorial. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. Guys, let's help other creatives. Share this video with other designers, and if there's anything you want to share with me, drop it in the comment section of this video. I'll do my best to reply you. Give the video a thumbs up if you love it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.